channel. So today I have a full face of Fenty beauty products. I absolutely loved filming this video and I really like how it turned out, but if you want to see what products that I really liked, which ones are my favourites and which ones I'd stay clear of, if any, then please keep watching and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into it. I have two primers that we could try out today. The Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Primer, which I think is the one that I'm going to use. Also have the Fenty Beauty Full Filter Instant Retouch Primer, which I believe is her matte version. One thing I will say is she smashed the packaging. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It looks so nice. I literally just want the whole collection sat out in front of me because it just looks so good. First, the smell test. If you're a regular on my channel, you'll know that I'm slightly sensitive to smells. I don't like it when things stink, but it smells really good and it does feel really silky actually, and it feels really hydrating, really smooth, which I love. I'm not a huge fan of primers, to be quite honest with you guys. They're kind of a take it or leave it kind of situation for me, but I do like having them for the odd occasion, or I like having like a hydrating one if I'm having quite a dry day, or matte if I'm going on a night out and I need my makeup to be like completely sweat proof and gonna last the entire night. So I do use them, but they're not something that I will use every single day without fail. I'm just gonna apologise in advance if you notice my little pinky's not got a nail on. I actually damaged it the other day and my nail bed's actually really sore, so I just thought it was best to keep any press on nails off. Now onto foundation. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I've heard amazing things about this, so I'm so excited to try it out. Because obviously we're online shopping at the minute, I did have to guess shades, so who knows what the shade's going to be like, but we'll give it a go anyway. I haven't even tested it. I literally filmed the haul for you guys, left it on my beauty room table so that I could just jump in and film this video the next time it was available. So who knows what it's going to be like. I'm obsessed with these peaches and cream brushes, like the big fluffy ones, to blend foundation. Wow, what a match that is. Obviously I do wear fake tan, so I wanted it to be darker than my natural skin colour. That has been such a good shade match. I'm so impressed. And it's going on really nice. It looks like a second skin. Like I said, I've heard so much about this foundation. I was so excited to try it, and the colour range in it is just absolutely unreal. A little bit overwhelming when you're online, because when it shades like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, then you kind of know whereabouts you're going to be, but because there's so many shades, I just didn't know where to start. But it's absolutely amazing that she does that, so that there is literally one for everyone. I find usually that I'm in between shades of foundations a lot, so I end up mixing all the time anyway, so it's just great that she has so many different tones, which I love. And it was about time that a big makeup brand put that kind of money into bringing out a whole load of foundations and not just 3 shades. But I think this is a medium to full coverage, and I would definitely agree with that. I've used about 2 to 3 pumps and it has done my entire face, which is really nice. It has gone on like a second skin. It's showing up really nicely on camera, which I like. It is sitting on the skin nice, however it is a matte foundation and it's got that kind of texture to it that a matte foundation has, if you know what I mean. So it's not that it's a bad thing at all whatsoever, but I'm glad that I've prepped with my skincare and stuff first, because it may sit a little bit drier if you hadn't popped your skincare on and maybe the hydrating primer. So to see what it's like with the matte foundation underneath, with it being a matte foundation. So like I said, if you want a Fenty Part 2 full face, then please let me know and I can do that for you. So yeah, it has that kind of like ever so slightly drier texture to it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't look heavy on the skin, it isn't clogging anywhere up to now, it's not sat in any lines. I know I don't have many, but obviously I do have a few underneath my eyes, and obviously we all have smile lines and round by my nose, and it's not sitting in any of those lines. So far so good. So now we have the Fenty concealer that I'm going to try out. I've only tried this on the back of my hand, and this seemed quite dry, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's quite dry. So we'll see what this one's like. Apply it on the back of my hand and then buff it underneath my eyes. Just because if it is a little bit drier, then I want to have a little bit more control and like really blend it in. Wow, look at that sheen on it. So I'm just going to kind of place it all on with this brush, and then the excess I'm going to blend out with a beauty blender. Okay, so now I'm just going to buff out all the excess with a beauty blender. And this is what I like to do if there's like a really full coverage drying concealer. I will apply it with a brush first rather than straight from the applicator, just so that you can buff it out as much as you like. Sometimes I feel like if you use the applicator, it'll just kind of stick and hold to wherever you put it, whereas with the brush kind of takes off the edge first. Okay, so all blended out now, and I do quite like it. It's got the same kind of finish as the foundation has, where it's got that kind of like drier texture to it. It's nothing that's made me go like wow, but I have no reason to complain right now. It just looks nice. It's showing up on camera quite nice. So yeah, so far all okay. I think if you were oily, you probably would like this range a little bit more. If you were really dry, or say you suffered with like eczema or anything around your eyes, then I probably wouldn't go for it. But yeah, so far so good. I am really glowy, but I was really glowy to start with the skincare that I'd put on before. It'd been sinking it in for about 10 minutes before I'd filmed the video, and then obviously we've placed the hydrating primer on top. So far I really like the hydrating primer. It feels really nice on my skin, and I will say all of it so far does feel really lightweight, so that's really nice too. Okay, so the only blusher that I have from Fenty is this cream blush. If you watched my whole video, then you'll know I was a little bit nervous about this because it is a little bit deeper. Usually I'd kind of apply these with my fingers, but I'm gonna go in with a peaches and cream brush today. So that's actually applying really nicely. I did have to swirl my brush in a little bit harder than I thought I'd have to. But that is applying really, really nicely. Do you know what, guys? That is such a pretty shade. I'm really surprised. Oh wow, I really like that. And that gives a gorgeous sheen as well, which is really nice. It complements that foundation and concealer really nicely. I haven't actually seen anybody talk about these cream blushes. To be honest, I tried to stay away from watching any kind of like full face videos of Fenty because I wanted all the opinions to be my own and me not to kind of see something that someone else has seen, because it's one of them, as soon as someone points something out, then of course you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can see that. So I wanted all my opinions, you know, to be fresh and like what I think. Obviously, naturally, I have heard a few things about it on Instagram, or like if I've talked between friends or what have you, but I've tried to keep away from watching anything Fenty. But yeah, I haven't heard that much about the blushes, but that is so nice. Really, really pretty. Do you know when you really like something and then you can't stop applying it? That's me right now with this blush. Not that I need any more, but that is just beautiful. And it's not stuck in any particular place. It's not grabbed onto anything. I don't even feel like you'd need to blend it in with the beauty blender, as it's blended itself in really nicely. So I'm really impressed with that. Close, it does just look beautiful. Like, I'm glad it's picking up really nice on camera because it's picking up just as nice on person. Okay, so now onto her new foundation powder. I don't usually use a full coverage foundation and a full coverage foundation powder over the top of each other, just because that is too much coverage for me personally. However, foundations are really handy to have in, whether you have a tinted moisturizer on in the day and you want to top up at night with something a little bit more coverage, whether you're on holiday and you want something that's more powder based than liquid based in the sun, maybe of a night time. So yeah, powder foundations are always handy to have in. I love the MAC foundation powder, and I think really that's the only one I've ever stuck with, so I'm excited to try this out. So I did get this in a slightly lighter shade than the foundation. Pretty packaging, and it also has a sponge underneath. I'm not gonna go crazy with this just because obviously it is full coverage, but I'm just gonna pop a little bit under the eyes to set, and I'm gonna try and avoid the blush as much as possible. But obviously, because that blush is a cream product, you don't want to apply the powder first and the cream second. So I'm just applying it in that little triangle that we put the concealer in. Really just gonna set the center of my face. Oh my god, guys, I'm shook. That is so nice in person. That has come out so lovely, like so much better than I thought it would. It really doesn't look too heavy. It genuinely looks like a second. It just looks like we have airbrushed masking. It's really, really nice. I'm so impressed with that foundation up to now. So good. I'm really hoping that it has really good lasting power. Usually these types of foundation powders do, so I'm definitely going to update you guys on that. So maybe we could do this on its own for people that like wearing foundation powders alone, and we could try the mattifying powder, the concealer again, and we could try this on its own. So if you want to see that video, then please leave me a comment down below and I can definitely do that video for you guys. So the next product is her bronzer. I picked this up in the shade Hydrating. This is what it looks like. It looks really dark on camera, but it's quite like a warm colour, which is my kind of bronzer in person. And I've heard amazing things about our bronzers, so I do have high hopes for this. Oh, I love it already. Oh, that is so nice. That is going on so nicely. It's blending out really easily. You know, it's doing the work for me. I'm not having to it's not sticking in one place and I'm having to blend it out. The colour's a really good colour. I'm really glad I picked that up. Just gonna take a little over my forehead. I'm honestly so happy with that. I'm just gonna take a slightly smaller brush and I'm just gonna take a little bit down the sides of my nose just to bring it all together. So not half as much product, but it just makes the center of your face not look so bright when after you've popped your bronzer on. I don't know whether it's my skincare or the hydrating primer or both together, but honestly that glow is staying all throughout my face. I've noticed that you can even still see a shine on my forehead even though I've powdered there, and then obviously we've left the cream product on my cheeks, which is just making it so shiny, which I absolutely love. But my whole face doesn't look too matte considering it's a full matte foundation. I'm quite shocked, but I really like it because I still do like to have some sort of satiny finish to the foundation because I think it's just so much nicer. So yeah, up to now, massive thumbs up. I'm really liking the way that it's all coming out. It's sitting really nice on my skin, and most importantly, it doesn't feel really heavy because I hate when foundations feel so heavy. So yeah, so far so good. I'm really impressed. So I'm going to apply highlighter before we move on to the eyes. How Many Carats highlighter, and we also have the Fenty Glow highlighter. This is my new one that I got with the cream blusher that we used. So this is to go with that, and then I also have this one that I've been using since Christmas. Both are gorgeous. I think I'm going to stack them. I think I'm going to use this one first and then pop a little bit of this over the top. Really creamy, so I'm going to apply it with my fingers. And already that's just giving me such a gorgeous golden undertone. Tiny bit just above my brow there. I'm going to take a little bit down the centre of my nose, onto the tip, and then onto the cupid's bow and chin. A little bit of the How Many Carats, and just place that right in the centre just to give it that extra wow. I mean, we didn't need any more highlight, but I'm glad we went for it. Wow, that is absolutely stunning. That is your like Instagram highlight right there. And the same again down the centre. Super pretty. Oh, I'm obsessed. That would be really nice for a bride as well. Okay, so moving on to eyes. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any Fenty eye products just because her palettes are quite small, and I quite like big palettes. With me being an MUA, I find it really difficult to carry a whole load of like mini palettes around, so personally just didn't think it was worth me picking up. However, I'm going to use what we've got, and I'm going to be using the cream blusher, the bronzer and the highlighter to give you guys a gorgeous glow. And this is something else that I think is really important to share with you guys. You don't need a whole mass of products, especially when you're just doing makeup on yourself, or if you're an MUA just starting out. Like, it's impossible to have such a huge collection of products, so you do want to make sure that you're purchasing multi-use products or products that you can use in so many different ways. So I'm going to show you how to create a really nice eye using the products that we've just used on the face. So I'm just taking some of that cream blusher that we used earlier on a Doll Beauty brush, and I'm going to pop this really roughly all over the lid. So I'm just applying that to my lid and slightly into my crease and just blending up and out. You don't need to be totally perfect with this, it really doesn't matter. And like I said, it is just a base for your eyeshadow, so don't worry too much. I wanted like a natural, like wet look, kind of glossy look that's quite in trend. You could apply this and then apply one of the highlighters over top, and that would give you that finish. I'm gonna go for something highlighted but also got a little bit more to it. So I'm gonna take the bronzer that we had earlier, and I'm gonna take this on a different brush, and I'm just gonna apply that straight over the top of where we applied that cream blusher. So I'm just going up to my crease again and then buffing out when you hit your crease. I'm winging it out slightly because I prefer my eye looks to be that little bit more winged out. They just suit my eyes a little bit better. And then to brighten it up, I'm going to take that shade How Many Carats, which is the lighter one, just to make it pop. So I'm going to apply this on my brow bone. And I'm going to let that come down into the highlighter we applied earlier. And I'm going to focus it on my inner corner to brighten up my eyes. Just like so. So I'm then going to just pick up any random black eyeshadow. You could use brown, like a deep dark brown if you don't want anything too heavy, but I'm just going to pick up a black eyeshadow on a little thin brush. Ignore this, they completely got trashed when I did my Halloween makeup. But I'm just going to very, very gently push this into my lash line. So softly, and again, don't be too neat with it, it really doesn't matter. bit of a tapered brush, I'm going to take Island bronzer again and just go over the top of that line just to smudge it out ever so gently, just so that it gives us a little bit more of a smoky effect. And this is why it doesn't need to be perfect, because obviously we are blending it out anyway. So like I said, either do a black or a brown depending on the intent you want your eyes to be. Apply that black to the waterline. Again, you could go for a brown if you want it a little less intense. And then the same thing again, just smoke that out using the brush we've just used for the top line. I'm now going to go off camera and apply my lashes and brows. Okie doke, so we're back. Just that I'm using today are from Vain Beauty. I'm going to put her Instagram link down in the description box. Amazing lashes. This packaging is insane. I'm obsessed with it. And I've had these lashes now for honestly months and they're still in such a good condition, like the same pair. I just keep popping them back in the box, and then when I want to use them I'll keep grabbing for them. So you do get many uses out of them, so I'll pop her link in the description if you want to go and check her out. I just want to give a little bit of an update on how my skin's looking. Honestly, it looks so fresh. I'm so shocked by how glowy the cream products are. They really have like lifted the look and give it a really gorgeous finish. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing in summer to give you that summer's glow that we all love. Skin ever so slightly quite dry in certain places, just kind of gives you that extra like powdery finish that a foundation does when it's matte, plus we've had the powder foundation over the top, but it isn't cakey. It isn't too heavy, it doesn't look too much in person, which is why I'm so shocked. Like, I honestly thought it would look way too much, but it honestly doesn't. And it does still have a sheen to the skin, minus like the glow that we've put on. You can still see in the forehead where we've powdered that there is still a little bit of a sheen. So overall, I really like that. I'm gonna give it a good few hours, see how it settles, see how it lasts, and I will update you all. I'm now gonna move on to lips. So I actually have 3 of Fenty's gloss bombs. If you haven't tried these, honestly, please put them on your shopping list. You need them. If you're a gloss lover, then you will absolutely love these. So we have Sweet Mouth, which is my favorite. It is a gorgeous like pinky nude color. I use this all the time. If you go down my Instagram and look at what products I've tagged, then 9 times out of 10 it's this. I genuinely love it. I have to stop myself from using it because I grab for it every single time. Then we have Fussy, which again is like a deeper pink, but it doesn't come out anywhere near this deep on in person. I'll swatch these on my hands for you guys so you can see. I've probably got foundation on them from doing my foundation earlier and my concealer, so just ignore that. Also have Fenty Glow, which is the matching lip balm to the blusher and the highlighter that we applied earlier. So here we have Sweet Mouth, which is the one that I say I grab for all the time. It's a nude. Then we have Fussy, which is a gorgeous like darker pink tone. And then we have Fenty Glow, which is the one that matches the blusher and the highlighter. All 3 are so stunning and I genuinely recommend them all. They're all amazing. So I've just very quickly lined my lips with Peaches and Cream Punchline Lip Liner. And then I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Fussy Lip Gloss. And I like to just apply the lip liner all over my lips and then just colour in with the gloss bomb. I don't find that you need a lipstick with these. They're so pigmented and it just kind of pulls the look together. Loads of DMs about what I was using in my Q&A video, I think it was, and it was my Fenty Sweet Mouth Gloss Bomb. Everybody said, oh my god, your lips look amazing, what was it that you used? And that was it. Honestly, it's just such a beautiful gloss, and as you can see right now, it's just so glowy, it's not sticky, it's not uncomfortable, and it genuinely lasts a long time for a gloss. This is usually the first thing to come off, but this actually lasts a really decent amount of time, and it's thick, but it's not too heavy or like too uncomfortable to wear. It's honestly fine. It reminds me of like a really hydrating lip balm. Like, it's just so lovely to wear. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I'm really happy with the purchases that I made from Fenty, and I'm so glad that I did, because honestly I really like the way that this whole face came out. It's definitely full coverage, it's definitely glowing, but it doesn't feel too heavy on the skin or too much or uncomfortable at all. It feels really, really nice. I really liked the hydrating primer. I thought that went on really nice and sat really nice underneath the foundation. I really was impressed by the powder foundation. I love the Fenty Gloss Bombs, as you guys already know. I was really impressed with the cream highlighter as it went on so sheer and so beautifully and built up really nice. And I also loved the bronzer and the highlighters. The highlighters are just something else, and that bronzer just warmed up the skin so beautifully. It blended out really nice. It wasn't heavy, it wasn't cakey. So overall, I'm just really happy with pretty much everything in the Fenty collection. The only bad points that I could say is maybe if you don't like a matte foundation, it is going to give you that like slightly powdery texture by using the foundation and the concealer and obviously the powder, but the powder does definitely make you look a lot more airbrushed. If you're on the drier side, then I would maybe stay away from the foundation, concealer and powder just because it is quite drying. But if you are oily or combination oily or normal, I would say that you would be absolutely fine. All the products smell either nice or didn't have a scent to them, which was really good. I really like the fact that Fenty has brought out so many different shades for so many different skin tones, which is just absolutely amazing to get behind. And generally like her range of colours with like the bronzers, the cream blushes, the gloss bombs, like all of it, she has a really nice range, so I definitely check it out. Fenty is a brand that I'm definitely going to be repurchasing from. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please leave me a comment down below if you enjoyed it, or if you have any Fenty recommendations that you want me to try. I'd love to do that Fenty part 2 video, so let me know if you want to see that. Please give this video a big thumbs up as it really helps out my channel, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys!